then let people know exactly what's up.
Not necessarily a certain it's not like you heard something through the grapevine, but it was more just you felt like they were encroaching and you had to kind of like claim your stake in the territory, etc.
Yeah, it's because they've been doing their thing for a while, and they've for the past couple of years established themselves at CSW. CSW's been growing and becoming more popular, which is great for the scene. But again, they're kind of infringing on our brand that we've worked very hard to establish. I think that we are recognized as kind of the couple of Chicago, and now they're apparently trying to establish themselves as the same thing, and it's just not really cool with us. So we figured, rather than talk it out or tweet or do all the stuff that's not very interesting, why not just take the issue right to them and let them know how we feel?
Just pop in and let everyone know exactly what's up.
Not necessarily a certain.
Okay. Good evening. Welcome to the Power Hour. I'm Steve, along with the urban sensation, the icon, the fraternity brother, the good brother, Uncle Red. You know him by many names. This is C Red. Hello, Red. Also, Rion Skills is with us tonight. He will probably be here live in my home before too long, but he's got the graphics tonight. Rachel, aka Cactus Rack, aka Russian Blue. She will be on later. She is delayed in traffic. And of course, Pac-Man will be on later as always. Joining us tonight is our guest, co-Rocket Pro Wrestling General Manager and former SCW High Voltage Champion, our good friend, JFW Podcast's own Freaknet Studios alum, the Amazing Turtle. Wow, you got a lot of honorariums in your name there, buddy.
Yeah, and then you had to bring up the travesty, if you will.
We'll talk about travesty a little while. Thank you for joining us tonight. If Paulie were here, he would call you Nubby and Nubby Jones and many other things. But let's go right out of the gate before we get into the Turtle and all of his many adventures. And let's talk about that little video I just played. That was from another podcast called Two Heels and a Face, doing great work in this industry. There are so many great podcasts in the wrestling world, and that's one of them. And their guests were GPA and Laney Luck. Now, last week on this program, we talked a little bit about them jumping guardrails and beating up our champions and so on and so forth. And, we made very clear it was not an invasion. It was a power couple wanting to show the other power couple who is the more powerful power couple. And I get it. GPA and Laney Luck are well established, and Wisconsin and now Chicago as are Avalon and Sierra. So they came to CSW, sent them a message. The message was answered. There's going to be a match February 9th in Logan Square at Freelance Wrestling. Should be a great match. Great talented athletes. But something, I'm listening to that and something just doesn't sit right with me. I don't know what it is. I can't put my finger on it. I don't know if it was Laney chiming in at the end saying what she said. I kind of got the idea that maybe GPA was calling us kind of cute little brothers in Chicago, on the up, and I don't know how I feel about all that. My irritation was at the fact that they said due to erroneous reports. Well, as the man on commentary that night, there was nothing erroneous about my reporting. Two people from another place jumped the guardrail, beat the stuffings out of our champions, and then left. That's Scott Hall, Kevin Nash shit. So they have words for that, but we won't use them here because they don't want us to use those words, so we won't. It's an isolated incident. Freelance Center redacted, admonishing the actions of Laney and GPA, and that's fine. Freelance, they didn't condone this. They certainly didn't send them. They went of their own volition, and that's great. That's good. Here's the problem. It was innocent. They wanted to send a message rather than do it on Twitter or do it in a conventional manner. They decided to jump guardrails and beat people up. That's mob mentality. That's okay. I don't mind it. However, if you've watched the CSW show on IWTV and you've seen the footage from the actual attack, and it's been on Instagram and it's been on Facebook, the moment of occurrence and then GPA grabbing the mic has been all over social media. And everything is fine and lines up with what they say. So it's not a war. It's not CSW versus freelance. There's no war. There's no invasion. There's none of this. It's just two people wanting to send two other people a message, and I get that. However, they said we wrestle in a barn and we are farm animals. So maybe if they didn't say that, I wouldn't be so irritated, because I don't believe Franklin Park is a barn, and I don't believe our CSW fans are farm animals. So I'm going to say this now, and I'm not putting anything more on it than is necessary. I'm a frequenter of Logan Square, not necessarily freelance, but I'm a big music fan, as you all well know. I worked in a record store for a great many years, 9 to be specific. And a guy that I work with, a guy that was my mentor in music, so to speak, has a record store, one of the last really great record stores in all of Chicago, in all of America, as far as I'm concerned. And it's in Logan Square. It's called Laurie's Planet of Sound. You can buy CDs, cassettes, DVDs. You can buy all the records, all the older mediums. If you are a person from Red and my era, this is what got us by back in the day. The digital age and MP3s, etc., streaming services, that's not how Red and I grew up. Red and I, we were going to record stores, flipping through racks. We were buying compact discs when they came out, so that's our medium. That's where we come from. That's who we are. See, Red's got the 45s right there. Red was a DJ. So, Red and I come from that era where we like tangibility. There's nothing like perusing a gatefold of a record. So I go to Logan Square quite regularly to visit my friend John at his store. And I'm going to Planet of Sound on February 9th. Now, it's in Logan Square, as is the show. And it just so happens a couple of my favorite people in this business will also be in Logan Square that night doing a little battle. So I thought, you know what? I'm going to go buy some records, talk to my friend, and then I'm going to go watch the match and cheer on my friends, because that's what we do in this business. We support our friends. We go out to the shows that they're at and we participate, and that's normal, right? Not out of the ordinary, not an invasion, right?
No.
I'm just going to hang out, right?
True.
Just to kind of sit there and take it all in, going from one barnyard to another. So, I know some other people that are going to, join me that evening, and we'll be there, and we'll check it out, and we'll see what's up, and it'll be fun. A good night on the town, February 9th in Logan Square. And check out Laurie's Planet of Sound for all of your vinyl, cassette, and record needs. It's truly a great establishment. So that's all I have to say about that. Thoughts from the panel? Turtle, we'll start with you.
I mean, they came into our house and, they insulted the fans in the place. To say it's not a freelance thing is kind of questionable, but I guess we'll just have to stick with that for now and just leave it to
Joey, I'm going to
Avalon
stop
and
you
Sierra.
right there. I'm not going to let you subvert the situation, because that's not what I'm trying to do here. Freelance issued a very specific statement on social media saying they admonished the actions of Laney and GPA that was not condoned by Freelance as a company, and they have no problem with Chicago Style, which I believe. I mean, why issue a statement if it's not true? I mean, everything on the internet is true, right?
Right. And if I feel like they shouldn't be trying to fight with us, company against the company, because
see, there you go again, Turtle.
No,
Nobody's
listen,
fighting
listen.
anybody.
No, I'm just saying they shouldn't be, because if my memory serves me correctly, which doesn't always happen,
That's true.
at least 3 founding fathers of freelance trained at CSW.
Now okay. Again,
So
m-
I'm
the
just saying.
official position of the Power Hour is it's GPA and Laney, Avalon and Sierra. It's an isolated thing. They want to have a match. They want to find out who the superior couple is. That's all
Right.
that this is. Because it's
all.
on the social media. It's been said by all of them. And we believe everything we hear on the internet. So it must be true.
Right, that's what I'm saying.
Uncle Red, what say you of the video you saw in the grand scheme of things? I know you have no skin in the game, so to speak. You're just C Red, the 20+ year veteran that has seen it all, done it all, been in plenty of skirmishes, etc.
Bullshit. So I call bullshit when I hear bullshit. So I mean, if again, something smells awry in Denmark.
Come on
That's all
now,
I'm saying.
Red. There were issued statements,
I don't give a
redactions,
flying fuck
almost as if Eric
about
Schultz wrote them.
statements. I don't give a fuck. Again, if I got an issue with if it was that cut and dry, right? You could have jumped the guardrails, asked for a mic, and confronted them head on.
I mean, I believe the way he phrased it is he wanted to send his message a special way. And that was a prolific beatdown that shocked the wrestling world. So, I mean, he certainly made a statement, as GPA is known to do. And, he and Laney, as good as anybody in this business right now, they are remarkable athletes. They are remarkable wrestling stars, and they have been for a long time. Feel disrespected. They lashed out.
But
But it is,
here's the thing. Why do you feel disrespected?
why do
That-
I
that's
feel?
the
I don't
question.
feel disrespected.
No, not you, but I'm saying.
I mean, I'm not a
say-
farm animal working in a
to
barnyard.
say-
I'll tell you that.
First of all, my first issue is CSW was around way before freelance.
That's what
So
I'm saying. Right there.
But it's not.
Red just said it.
The Chicago style. That's not happening.
let's lay all the facts out there first. So whether I don't work at either company, even though I do have ties to CSW, but don't knock the company where they choose to run their shows and etc. So that's the first issue. But
he said nice
again,
things about us. He said nice things.
but again, if you had an issue like everybody else, you could have took it to social media. But you didn't. Instead, you snuck into a building, jumped the tag team champions from behind again. So I personally smell something fishy. But again, I'm not gonna worry about it. I've known GPA forever. I've never met Lane.
I met Laney, and
I
Laney's
know-
fist met my mouth.
I know I've met matter of fact, I met the CSW tag champs before they started working at CSW. So I met them in Wisconsin. And I was highly impressed with them before they came to Chicago. So all I'm gonna say is be careful for what you ask for. You might just get it. And it might just be an ass whooping with a shovel on the end of it.
Might
So-
just be a shovel. And he's always got
Yep.
that shovel. C Red has no stake in the game. or no skin in the game, and is just speaking from his experience and his intelligence, and I appreciate that, Red. But
And
like I said,
are they the original couple of Chicago?
who? GPA and Laney?
Yeah. I mean, you
That's
know,
what the man said.
you are you?
That's what he
Are
said.
you?
He said
So
it on
I-
social media, so it must be true.
Again,
I know many other couples before them.
and that's my thing. Like, let's not make this, like we so stupid. Like, we can go back to Windy City and we can start this shit, right?
Listen,
So
I
there
am
have been
really
other power couples. Hey, I used to be part of a power couple,
that would be you and
So-
Diamond, right?
right? So just saying,
Maybe you better go find Diamond and
no,
pay a visit to Logan Square with me.
no,
Hey,
hell no.
By
Don't
the
do
way,
that, Steve.
while Red was ranting, the lovely, the talented, the vivacious, the badassery of Cactus Rack, aka Rachel, has joined us. Hello, Rachel.
Hello, and hello, Mr. Co-GM Turtle.
hello, Cactus Rack. It's great to
How-
hear your voice, be in the same room with you. I miss you. Can't wait to
I
see
miss
you
you.
again.
Yes, soon.
We're in the same
I'm
group.
late because I was picking up steroids for my back. So hopefully,
Ugh.
when my back is back together, everyone will get to see more of me.
And we're just happy that you're back this week. We've missed you the last couple, and we're always glad to see you and have you on the show. It's not quite the same without you, and that's the truth.
Well,
So
thank
here
you.
we
Steve.
are. Oh, there's no thanks necessary. You are on that graphic, on that flyer, ever present in our minds and hearts, and we appreciate what you bring. And with roller derby coming up, we're going to need you healthy and beating people's asses on that on
Yeah.
track.
Speaking of my back and roller derby, Rion got to see firsthand how bad my back is on Sunday when he stopped by the knockouts practice. I was unable to even cross my legs. It was so bad.
Oh no.
But yeah, he did his best to help me out, but it was like as soon as I stood up, I'd be fine, and then I'd feel my whole body start to shrivel back up. So
That sounds incredibly
steroids
painful.
and injections for me for the foreseeable future.
Well, I hope that the healing process is good, and I hope you are ready for the first bout as we turn the calendar into February, day after tomorrow, and the
Yeah, I'm gonna
first
be
bout.
I'll be opposing Marley this time.
Yeah, that's it's very difficult to see you two at war because we've seen you guys dominate as teammates for so long. But like I said, as we get a little closer to the knockout premiere, we will talk a lot about what's coming this year for the knockouts. It's very cool. I get to be there for 98% of the season, so I'm very excited to be all in on the knockouts this year. I had to change my schedule. I had to do some trimming here and there to get the opportunity to be there all year. I just had my last show at SCW over the weekend, and what a way to go. What a way to end. And we're going to talk to Turtle about that. And let's talk about that now, Turtle. That's a nice segue. Let's move right into it. I listened to JFW.
You did.
And I listened to you and Travis bicker about, was Travis in a position to do anything to stop what happened to you from happening to you? First of all, for those of you that don't know, 2024 Power Hour is now part of the FreakNet Studios. You can see the graphic up there in the corner. We had a great run with Johners, and we appreciate them for all the work we did with them. It was great. But Red, in his very passionate plea for harmony in December at the See Red Roast, I decided to honor his intentions by bringing us to Travis's brand to create a peaceful environment. And so far, it's been wonderful. Working with Travis is a joy. In fact, Travis really said some very nice things about me on JFW, the new episode, to the point where I was like, am I dying? I'm like, what is happening here? But it was great, and I appreciate it. He made me feel appreciated, for the 4 years I spent at SCW. And I'm not leaving SCW because I have any axe to grind or I don't want to work for them anymore. But the knockouts have become a passion for me. There's just something about it that makes me want to be there. And when I'm not there and they have a bout, I feel like I'm missing it. And I did not want to do that. So when the dates came out in at the end of 23, I looked at the dates and I saw how they lined up against SCW, and I had to make a choice. And I had to go with my heart. I want to be in Homewood. I want to be a part of it. I want to call that action because I believe 100% in all of those gals on all of those skates. They are entertainers in the truest sense of the word.
Not all gals.
Not all gals. All athletes. I'll go all athletes.
Thank you.
My apologies. That's my fault. Because I'm getting a little emotional, but I'll try to rein this back. I believe in that product so much because it's so good. And I have been in this contact sport entertainment business now over a decade. This is year 11 for me. And I've seen all sorts of things and I've watched all sorts of action. And there's just something about the roller derby in Homewood that is magic. And, I invite people to come to it all the time. Friends of mine that have businesses in Homewood are sponsoring it. When they come, they see what I see. Homewood sees what I see. The crowd at the final bout of 23 is one of the hottest crowds I've ever seen or been in front of. And then when Local H came out to do a little impromptu rock concert at the end, it was one of the most unique situations I've ever been a part of. So it took a lot for me to leave Shabans and all the people there with all the stories. Turtle, his story is yet to be written there. What is James Creed going to do now that he's champion? Who's the new president going to be? So there's a lot of stories that I really want to see how they end. But at the same time, I know Homewood and the knockouts is where I need to be in 2024. So the decision was easy, but leaving was bittersweet. So thank you, SCW. I want to make sure I get the letters right because I sometimes flub that up. Thank you, SCW, for 4 years of fantastic matches, fantastic work, a fantastic training. I learned a lot at the training center with Hunter and James Creed doing the training. I got to be ring announcer in full blown, do whatever you want in that ring, create your own way. They gave me a lot of latitude to do a lot of things, and I met a lot of people, and it's really cool. So I'll miss it, but again, in the end, I only have so many hours in a day, and I just felt like the knockouts is where I need to be. It's where I want to be. So that's the long and the short of that. Now, Turtle, as we were talking about before I went out on this tangent, you were screwed out of your title in a gauntlet match against Puny Generals, aka Punitive Damages, and they cheated profusely throughout the whole thing while the general manager watched on. And we can frame that, but I always thought in matches like that, like fatal four ways and triple threat matches and gauntlet matches, that the rules were bendable. So I don't know if you're one. I mean, I feel bad for you. You are a great champion. You are a fighting champion, and you did great work. But I'm not sure Travis really could have done anything, to be honest. So I don't know if your outrage at him was completely justified. I think you guys had it hashed out by the end, and I think you kind of met on common ground at the end. But I was watching everything you were going through, just like Travis. And here's Rion. Rion Skills is here. I just I don't know. What are your thoughts on that?
So when it comes to the rules, when it's a gauntlet, unless there's special stipulations attached, each match was just a regular, disqualifications, countouts matter, all that stuff. So the cheating was not justified at all. I mean, they knew that because they had the referee distracted. So that tells a lot there. But when it comes to Travis, he's claiming that he had a meeting and he had to sign an NDA that he cannot talk about. the meeting.
NDA, that stands for non-disclosure agreement.
Yes.
And what lawyer oversaw this?
Notes.
Eric Schultz.
I'll be right back.
I would check the verbiage in that contract.
It's results.
Yeah. And I know Freiberg was in on it, but I also believe Aaron Xavier and Angel were in on it. Because Aaron Xavier is also a client of Warren C. Freiberg. So that's why I feel like Travis didn't do anything to, help me out or do the right thing, because he was scared that he was going to lose his job if he did anything, if Aaron Xavier would have won his match against James Creed. Travis went on and on about it, but I mean, we're okay for the sake of JFW and stuff, but I feel like he's that type of guy that would put himself, over, be selfish, if you will, look out for himself sometimes, He's accused everybody else. Why can't we accuse him of it? I'm still, on the fence about it, but I can't really dwell on it too much with him. I'll always feel like he was all about himself, but I have to focus on Warren Freiberg, and the next time I see him, I'm going to beat his ass.
I'm gonna help you out, Turtle. So what was happening over here is that the man that's in charge of the whole thing over here with the board walked away, and he just kind of just went about his business. You're doing great, by the way, especially with all the stuff. I just want to make sure I got this right. You had to wrestle 3 people in a fatal 4-way, but they were all collectively together.
It was a gauntlet.
It was a gauntlet.
Yeah, like I did at IPW.
Well, no one's talking about IPW. IPW.
It was an
IPW
example.
is horrible. Don't even try to put that in a position of this wonderful organization.
It was an example. It was an example. A match.
No, I understand that, but let's be real. If we're going to bring up IPW is horrible.
Okay, how about
this? Compared to this,
I know.
Let's just figure out. Let's figure out
the rules apply the same. The same gauntlet I had before at somewhere else, I had here.
Okay, so it was a gauntlet match. So you had to wrestle back to back to back.
Yes.
Okay, and they are all in a collective. Oh, thank you very much. They're a collective team, correct?
Yes.
We're trading places,
Yes,
just
we
like Aykroyd and Murphy, not Murray. Different thing. Hello.
Welcome back, Steve.
Sorry about that. I was being a short order cook. Yeah, he ran a gauntlet against several idiots. Go ahead, Turtle.
And I beat the Sheik.
Yep.
And then I beat Schultz by disqualification because he hit me with his briefcase. And then those 2 idiots decided to beat me down before Freiberg got in the ring to try to get the advantage on me.
Okay. I'm assuming that you were a fighting champion and you did not go down easily.
No, I fought hard. I was tired. I was beat up, but I fought until the end.
All right. I was just curious. So, what's the actual issue? If you were able to fight and defend your honor of the championship and yourself, what's the issue with Travis? I'm trying to figure out what the actual problem is.
So, Travis, who is the High Voltage general manager, was on commentary. He watched the whole thing go down. he saw the cheating happen.
Mhm.
And you mean
he
to
did
tell
nothing
me he
about it.
didn't? You mean to tell me he didn't pull a Steve and get up and run in to save you?
No, and he could have grabbed the mic and said, "No, this ain't happening," but he didn't even do that.
So what you're saying is that Travis is a do nothing bitch.
You know, it's funny because there's no face on here that actually said it, so it just went through the air. No one actually said it, so it works out in everyone's favor right now. So it's okay. It's totally fine. We heard it. It's our inner thoughts. It's not so much what was actually being said. Because
Inner monologue.
Yeah, inner monologue. So it's okay. It's totally fine.
That's what I am. I am the world's inner monologue.
See,
We love Travis. Freaknet Studios has been great to us.
and last time I checked, we had a treaty. That would be the Freaknet Treaty Truce. Last time.
That's right.
So it
Happened in December,
wasn't a
thanks
thing.
courtesy of C Red,
That
written
was
in
the whole
blood.
thing. That was the whole thing.
At no point did I say I was breaking any truce. I am just pointing out a character flaw that Travis happens to have.
Because that's something that deals with SCW and not the actual podcast itself.
It's got nothing to do with JFW. It's all about us.
Exactly.
Wanna
I am
make sure that
pointing out a
everybody's on the
character
same
flaw.
page?
Because Travis is a sexy man and we love him.
Even if he won't do anything in a crisis.
This is fun. I don't know about you guys. Towing this line or keeping things in order while C Red is just here is amazing. I just want to make sure that everybody knows this is amazing stuff.
So
That is
basically,
great, just so you know.
in that so-called meeting that he had to sign an NDA for and cannot talk about what was said, he said that no matter what, as the match happens, basically whatever happens, and he cannot do anything about it. That's what he's claiming. I still believe, even though we are okay, that he was scared about losing his job if he did something.
Mhm.
So
We all do foolish things and
Yeah.
fun things in fear.
So that brings me back to what I was saying. What's the actual problem here? Is there an issue?
Okay. Well, leading up to the match, I beat Freiberg for the title,
Mm-hmm.
but before that, I went to Travis when I lost my original title match. The first match I had with Freiberg,
Mm-hmm.
when he was champion, I lost to cheating, and I went to Travis and I guess you could say I demanded, whatever. I can be very demanding. It happens that I was cheated and I deserve another shot, and he gave it to me. And Freiberg, went on a tit fit and didn't want this match to happen, and he kept claiming nepotism.
Speaking of nepotism, welcome back to the show, PX.
Second time.
Hello. I don't know what kicked me out of there. Probably No Coast. I would blame No Coast, right, Turtle?
Yeah, we blame No Coast.
Yes, we do.
Rion, I
Hello,
don't think
everyone.
you're answering Rion's question specifically. The situation is Turtle was very angry on Saturday night,
As shown in this photo.
as
that's
shown in
right.
that photo. And Travis was, apologetic as much as Travis can be.
Mhm.
And as Turtle pushed the issue, there was some friction, and the friction continued on the JFW podcast. But by the end of it, I think Turtle started to warm up to the fact that the NDA was there. And, obviously Travis not wanting to lose his job. But I don't think Travis leaned on that crutch.
Mhm.
He said, this is what happened. It's regrettable. I was in a position where I couldn't do anything for you. I'd do anything for you because we're friends. We do this together. It's all unfortunate. So it ended okay, but like I said, Turtle, he's fallen on his head a couple of times.
I'll make this really quick. Mr. Turtle.
Yes.
Okay. Just because of the rules of this entire thing with the treaty truce and the SCW and the Rocket Pro deal, I don't want to say I can get away with saying this type of thing, but just within all of those rules that I have, this is one of those times where you have to not think like a GM and think as a wrestler first. Because with you being the co-GM and having this newfound power, what you think should happen under your watch would be get it done. Unfortunately, not everybody has the get it done aspect of things. So you're going to have to kind of look at it from a standpoint of, while he is able to do things in this realm, as far as virtual world, the physical one is a little bit more difficult, especially when it comes to paperwork and NDAs. I'm only going with the rules that have been presented to me literally just now. So I had to keep it under that type of scenario. Kind of like how when you were able to go on the LIM podcast and anoint Mr. Pax a comment or an interviewer. It's
Yes.
within the rules of what's happening at that point in time, because you have that power. When you don't have that power and you're used to having it, it gets blurred. And this is the only time I'm going to say this. You have to learn to keep it in certain pocket and separate certain things. And trust me, if there's anyone that knows how to separate things, this dude. So I'm just telling you.
I understand that.
This
It's just that Travis spent a lot of time calling Freiberg a petty cheater.
mm-hmm.
So
Personal
if,
standpoint, not from a professional one. I want to keep that in mind. From a personal, not from a professional. Now, also, before we get into anything else, I did not listen to said podcast this week. So feel free to tell me to fuck off. I'll wait.
PX, that's your job.
PX, you gonna tell Rian to fuck off?
Rian, have you
I'm sorry,
listened
fuck
to the
yourself. Fuck
JFW?
yourself.
Rian, have you listened to the JFW podcast before?
I
though?
just told you that I didn't. We don't have to go through this.
No, I mean like any episode. You've been on a few.
Uh-huh.
So if he's been on a few, that would imply that he's listened to a few.
He's immune. He's good. He's good. He's in the clear.
Diplomatic immunity.
Yeah.
You know, all right, whatever, it's fine.
You were in the pocket, and then the pocket just dropped out on you, and now there's nothing but pockets out there. It's like a multiverse of pocket madness.
It's okay to be a part-time listener.
Oh, you see Rian's hat? Fuck around and find out. Yeah, that's what's good. There's a lot of that going around these
I
days.
have a matching one, but the patch is falling off, so we'll have to be twinsies another day, Rian.
Fair enough.
Well, before we get into the Rocket Pro stuff, Turtle, it was kind of, aside from your screw job, the Shabant's Turtle screw job, it was a pretty spirited show. Saturday night in Shabant's. A lot of cool things happened. I'm gonna stay in the pocket. Well, you know what? Before we get into the card, C-Red, you've heard a lot of things.
Yeah.
Would like to hear your thoughts on the situation. Non-disclosure agreements and the angst and the I couldn't do anything, and where do you stack up on what's gone down?
Again, I smell bullshit.
Oh my God. You have no idea how hilarious.
Where's the pocket? Where's the goddamn pocket? Where's the pocket? He made the pocket, and then he said, "Fuck the pocket."
Keep going.
This has
this
this has again nothing to do with JFW.
Okay, back in the
This has
pocket.
nothing.
We're back in the pocket.
This has nothing to do with that. So let's not make this about another podcast. What this is about, again, we already knew last week Turtle was getting screwed. We already knew that. Match had been announced last minute. Screw job. It had the Shaban screw job written all over. So, am I shocked that Turtle is no longer the high voltage champion? No, I am not. And here's the thing, Turtle. You are better than the high voltage title. I'm tired of seeing you on high voltage. It is time for you to be on the main event, sir. So, why they think they have screwed you, it is time for you to be on the main show and start chasing titles there.
A lot
So
of great wrestlers for him to fight there. Wouldn't you love to see Acid Jazz versus Turtle?
I would love to. I don't know if Turtle want to.
That's never happened before.
I've never seen the Turtle get out of Swiss Miss. So,
By the way, real quick, Red, before you continue, I want to say one more thing about Acid Jazz. Jazz is probably not watching, but if he is, we love you, Jazz. We love you. And Acid Jazz was as entertaining as he's ever been. After the show, after he got screwed, he eventually did get to blow hot chocolate in in Betty Vargas's face, which was worth the price of the admission of the whole show. But go ahead, Red.
no, I'm just saying. So, I mean, there are just certain people, that out to screw other people.
And they have puny genitals.
2023 was the year of Screw Turtle. So,
And
Yep.
2024, it's the year Turtle screws back.
so,
And harder.
as Paulie would say, fuck Nubby, So,
Yeah.
so just don't worry about it. Shit. Yeah, you look nice with that title, but it's time for you to move on, and I'm sure you'll cross paths with the three assholes again, and you'll whoop their asses, and now you have something else to put in your mental Rolodex to remember and kick their ass and be like, yeah, you screwed me out of this, so I'm gonna fuck you up. So, and plus, let's not forget, and we're gonna get to it later. But one of those three works for you.
Yep.
So you get to make his life hell.
Yep. And he's on the receipt list right now for Rocket Bro. So
It's up to you. Keep going. Don't worry about that. Don't worry about what's happening here. He's leaving.
Oh,
of course he is.
So outside of that, I do know James Creed won his match, and everybody was all and hoopla and carried him on the shoulders and explain that moment for us, that those that weren't there, because honestly I was watching a pretty boring Royal Rumble at them. So
It was a great moment, and I couldn't be any prouder for James Creed, especially when 2 years ago when he went for the championship against Scott Spade, and when he thought he won, a certain referee had to take the belt away from him because his shoulders were down, and I won't mention my name, so it felt good to be there for him and not have to do that again, even though I joked about it and was really close to pulling a rib on him and just pulled the belt again. But I didn't want to take away his moment. It was a great moment for him. And I'm
so
proud.
answer me this question. How do you feel personally, knowing that 2 years ago that happened, right?
Mm-hmm.
And next month, who does James Creed have to face?
Scott Spade.
So how do you feel knowing that he can be a one and done champ?
Yes, sir.
As long as I'm not reffing, he's got a chance to win.
But you're probably the best referee there, so you'll probably be the ref.
No, because I am officially on sabbatical, despite being the special guest referee at Rocket Pro. That was a one thing I didn't. It
One and
just
done,
needed
huh?
to be done. One and done.
Okay, all right.
But I still hear the damn jokes from PX and Travis. They still laugh about it.
All right, all right. What else happened Saturday night in Shabazz that anybody that wasn't there should know about?
High voltage.
Well, I believe if I remember, I mean, it's hard to remember these days. Your boy Miles Mercer retained the Genesis championship.
What? Hold on. Let me just go ahead and.
Oh, you want me to go in order,
No,
Leon?
no, there's no order.
What?
Oh, hey, there's no order. I'm just gonna see. This is just me keeping everybody occupied and together. So there it is.
Keeping everybody in check. That's what you're doing.
There you go.
And there was a man, I don't know who he was.
Is the guy thing do this?
What?
Is got anything to do with this man?
It does, well, kind of.
Okay, all right, okay. I don't want him to forget to stop. All right, go ahead.
Because I'm interviewing, I was interviewing Miles pre-match on the side, and obviously ARC, representing the ARC. And there was a guy sitting up at commentary that was dressed in gold, and he was a Caucasian bald man dressed in gold. Looked very much like C Red, so I called him C Gold all night. And I was wondering if maybe Miles was maybe there's something else going on there.
Is there a photo?
I don't know if there's a photo.
Okay.
Turtle, I never found out who he was. Who was that?
I couldn't tell you. I wasn't there at commentary.
I'm saying this, but this is a Facebook exclusive. If you were at this man's show this past weekend and you happen to know who C Gold is and you seen a photo of him, put it in the comments.
I think Travis knows him because he sat and did commentary with them for a while.
I stand by my statement. If you were there and you happen to know who C Gold is and you have taken a photo of this particular person, put it in the comments for later. We'll see what happens. I'm just curious if this will work. I'm just curious.
I think he's somebody important because he was able to go everywhere
Mhm.
in Shabazz, backstage, front stage, side stage.
Well, if you're a walking gold bar, you pretty much can go and do whatever you want.
No, he was styling. I looked at my suit and I'm like, well, I suck. A good thing I'm leaving. I thought maybe they were training this is my heir apparent. This is the guy that's going to be doing my job now.
The only thing that I see right now without any context is him walking around like he's Willy Wonka, but in all gold.
All gold.
That is the only thing I can view it.
I mean, this was that scene in The Wiz where Richard Pryor goes from green
Mhm.
to the ultimate yellow brick is gold.
Okay.
You know what I'm talking
I
about.
do.
So that's where we were at. It was that kind of outfit. It was beautiful.
Okay.
Sea gold is what I called them.
Just want to make sure that everybody on the same page. Everybody got that?
You had to have seen him, Nubby. How the hell you didn't see him?
As you're talking, I'm starting to remember the bald guy now. I just can't remember his name. I just can't.
Pockets.
Alright.
That's the name of this episode. Pockets.
Maybe for you.
I can't. I don't remember his name, but I now remember seeing him because he was backstage a few times.
See? It was amazing. Amazing times.
So
we talked
now
about that-
there's a
Oh, sorry, Red.
knockoff.
Oh, I was just saying that to be funny. I don't think he's you. I mean,
I hope he was you. I hope he was a Hispanic version of you. What
They said
100%
Caucasian.
Caucasian.
that's even better. I hope there's a Caucasian version of you walking around with gold saying fuck C Red. I hope there's one that's out there now. I hope there is.
Maybe that's how you get him out of sabbatical. You make a match, C Gold versus C Red.
No matches. He's an insurance liability.
NDA. ND motherfucking A. Non-disclosure. Helen Schultz.
I cannot.
All right.
Please. Miles Mercer, Jimmy Carrey.
Yeah, Miles Mercer, Jimmy Carrot, hell of a match. Miles Mercer does what Miles Mercer has been doing for the last 5 years, winning everywhere, everything. I think he might be getting close to being one of the longest reigning Genesis champions we've had in a minute. He's really doing great work. And if you're out there running wrestling companies and you haven't thought about booking Miles Mercer, what are you waiting for, man?
Agreed.
What are you waiting for?
Now, I wouldn't mind taking that Genesis title off of him.
You want to fight Miles?
Wouldn't be our first time.
Turtle.
It's all about competition, and
It's all about him
championships
killing
matter.
you
Wouldn't be the first
and
time.
probably hiding the body.
No, it's fine.
Anyway, moving on. We were talking about the championship match and Turtle was giving while I was cooking and Turtle was giving James Creed the roses. I would like to say that over the last couple of weeks, I have had the opportunity and the pleasure to witness some of the great wrestling matches that I've ever seen from a storytelling standpoint. Now, I talked on this show a few weeks ago about Shaq Jordan versus Quinn Whittick at Frontline being possibly the greatest wrestling match I've ever seen. If you were there, you know. If you weren't there, check it out on the Premier streaming site, Premier streaming service, because you can watch that show on that service. And now it's free. You don't have to pay a subscription. You have to pay for some of the pay-per-view stuff, but all the Frontline stuff you can see at no charge to you. Just download the Premier Streaming Network app, and then you can see everything all the Crossfire episodes that are really impressive. They should get it out there because it's really a great show. The hosts of the show are fantastic. Anyway, moving on. And I thought that was the greatest match I'd seen. And then Saturday night, for different reasons, maybe it was the year that this story has been going. Maybe it's every step of the way that I've been a part of. The payoff between Aaron Xavier and James Creed was really, really good. Now, usually when you have a story that lasts a long time, you get to the end of the road where you're telling that final chapter, and it can be anticlimactic. If anything, this was the best situation that they have had through this entire storyline. The match was incredible. It was a roller coaster of emotions. And as you know, when I'm not doing commentary, I'm doing ring announcing. I'm sitting there watching the match without having to comment, and I'm watching the crowd. And I have never seen the SCW crowd so engaged in what's going on in the ring ever. I thought that Sabotage, meaning Dysfunction and Angel on the outside of the ring, were in danger for their lives because the fans on the side of the ring that they were at they were getting in their face. It was getting nerve-wracking. And Creed hit Aaron Xavier with everything he's got. And Aaron Xavier hit Creed with everything he's got. Aaron Xavier's finisher for a long time has been the running knee into the ropes. He hit him with that maneuver 3 times in a row. And Creed still kicked out. Creed hit him with a signature sharpshooter. And Xavier kicked out. It wasn't till Dysfunction and Angel were incapacitated that the end was finally able to occur, and Aaron had nowhere to run. But if you like storytelling in a match, this match comes up on YouTube on Southland Championship Wrestling's YouTube page. Do yourself a favor if you love wrestling and take a peek at it, because these guys worked their asses off to provide next level entertainment that I don't know if I've ever seen at Southland. And the coolest thing I had seen at Southland up to that point was when Creed fought John Hudson back in the day in the 2 out of 3 falls match with the tables. That was some good shit. This was even better. So my applause to Aaron Xavier for being a phenomenal champion and going out in as classy as Aaron Xavier can, but more power to James Creed for finally getting the monkey off his back and getting his title. And we'll have a new president starting in February, and I can't wait to see what Terry Allen's last act is. Because Terry Allen's not done with Angel and Xavier, because in February it looks like Erica D'Erico, the first lady of Southland, is going to challenge Angel for the title. And Terry Allen is not going to let Aaron Xavier run roughshod around the ring. You know, TA is going to be at ringside for Erica. So big things happening at SCW. The Brewmasters Championship. It was a great match between the Irish Car Bomb, Sean Mulligan, and Eric Schultz. Eric Schultz at the beginning cut a promo on the Car Bomb, suggesting that he would like to change the Brewmasters title to the Lawmasters title. And that just goes to show you that Eric Schultz was drunker than the Irish Car Bomb was in that match. But, you know, overall, a great night. The Bro Bros made their debut at SCW, taking on Dysfunction. And
It was not a debut. They've been there before.
oh, have they been there before?
Yes.
I
Yeah.
did not. Well, okay, so I got that wrong too. There's a reason I'm out of there. There's a reason.
Well, you weren't. Yeah, I don't think you were there. That might have been
But
why.
the Bro Bros came out and they did Bro Bro stuff. And Dysfunction wasn't ready for Bro Bro stuff. I'm gonna tell you that. But they did eke out a victory with the help of Angel. And I had an interview with them at intermission at their merch table, and I said, "Well, you probably wouldn't have won that match if you didn't have help." And they got really mad.
They should have.
They shouldn't have, because that's true. I'm a journalist. I was just stating the facts that I saw as I saw them.
Did they beat you up?
No.
Good day.
Good day. It was a good day. So SCW overall, my last show there, fantastic card. A lot of emotion that night, and the tribute to James Creed when all the guys and gals came out of the locker room. It was a really special moment. And Travis said something on the show that really struck that made me think, and I appreciated it. They said, you know, they didn't even really know that it was my last show 100%, and nobody really said anything about it as the show ended. I didn't want that, because I didn't want that moment that Creed had at the end to have anything to do with me, because I'm a ring announcer. I'm a auxiliary character to a certain extent. This was a man that has trained and killed himself for years, having his shining moment, and I wanted no part of being any kind of goodbye to be intermixed with that win. So I was very happy that nothing was done. That's it. Nubby, do you have anything to add?
No, I think we're good on that.
Red, anything to add on Southland Championship Wrestling, where you were, you did not win Best Manager this year. Mistress Misery won it. And when I had to announce her as the winner of Manager of the Year, one of the fans yelled out, "That bitch ain't Manager of the Year. See Red's Manager of the Year." That really happened. Watch the YouTube page.
Well, I mean, it's ironic that, you know, people still think of me and I'm still out here winning awards and put into Hall of Fames. You know, so, you know, it is what it is, you know, and, you know, everybody's clamoring, you know, for me to come back. And actually, I told somebody today, I won't mention his name, but I told him I'm enjoying my time off.
Okay,
Like-
good. Cool. Thought that was going a different way.
No,
Going a different. We were taking the road around. I thought
No,
the sabbatical end. The egg timer was ticking.
no, I enjoy having, again, the gear bag is here.
Not gonna
It's-
lie. Not gonna lie, Red. I got nervous.
No, so I am doing a show.
He did take it around.
But I don't
Is
know,
that so?
so I don't know the date. But if anybody knows who Mr. Bill was,
Oh, I know that one. I know that show.
That's different. That's different.
you know,
No, wait, he's not going to fuck around and find out, Rian. No, he's not going to do it.
so because it's Mr. Bill. I mean, in any part of Windy City, like, and no knock against you, Steve, or Michael Allen, or Timmy Too Sweet, or anybody that's out there.
Round Mound of Sound was one of a kind.
Dude, you did not get introduced until you got introduced by Mr. Bill. And oh my God, don't let it be belts. Don't let it be belts. Like, dude, he gave you Mean Gene, Tony Schiavone, everybody rolled into one, and he made you fucking feel like you were at the big dance. Like, fuck TV. Like, this is it. So, this had been in the works for a while. So when I was asked would I participate, it's Mr. Bill. Yeah, like the dude was always kind to me, always had a great word, loved his smile and his enthusiasm for the boys. So it wasn't even hesitation, So for somebody to remember Mr. Bill, there he is. Oh my God, I gladly will do my 2 cents and help bring back some good memories. So
That would
that's
be Saturday, March 23rd in Kankakee at
there you go.
it's at a theater in Kankakee. I heard the name of it today and I can't remember it, but they're going to advertise it. Terry Allen was talking all about it on Saturday night. It is Southland Championship Wrestling, joined by Chicago Style Wrestling, joined by POW Entertainment in a tribute to Big Bill. And it's going to be a hell of a night. I don't think I'm going to be able to be there. I'm kind of sad about it because there's going to be so many people I know there. But like I said at the beginning of the show, my heart lies in Homewood with the Knockouts.
Well, I get it, but for me, when people help your career, I believe in paying it back.
100%.
Here was somebody that I watched, before I joined Windy City, turning on Channel 19 and Channel 26, and that's the first thing you always saw. The show started, Mr. Bill, always, so when I was able to become part of that illustrious company, to me, I can remember the very first time he announced me at Belts. Actually, he announced Diamond winning her title for the first time, but then to turn around and announce me right after that, coming out for my match. Like, to me, my life had came full circle. Like, that was my moment. Even winning the belt later didn't matter. It was to hear him call my name. It was like shit. And know that at some point that would be on TV. Him calling my name. So again, it'll be an honor and a privilege.
It's going to be a big event. Going to be at a big venue in Kankakee. More details to come as we get them. We'll be sharing the crap out of it because it's a very worthy cause, helping out his family now that he has shuffled off this moral coil in tribute fashion, and all the people are going to be very passionate. It's going to be great. Let us move on now to Rocket Pro Wrestling. And now we go from Wrestler Turtle to General Manager Turtle. And I won't even acknowledge that sanctimonious bastard saint as general manager anymore. You're my GM, Turtle. Oh, we got a timeout as Ryan Matthews' face is flying back and forth at the speed of light.
He's got that.
Go ahead, Red.
Mr. General Manager, co-general manager.
Yes.
The commentary team would like a raise.
Yes.
Yes. You got it. You got it.
So you asked?
It was easy. Thanks, Red.
See, I didn't ask just for me.
Now you can have your coffee.
Appreciate it.
All you gotta do is ask, and you deserve it.
See, life is beautiful.
So,
All right.
Turtle, now that you're the assistant general manager, I mean, you make, oh, sorry, there's no timeout. Go ahead.
Cole,
Oh,
not an assistant.
no,
You gotta make that clear.
I'm-
You gotta make that clear.
I'm not making it clear.
All right.
Now that he's my GM, we have watched you over the last show when the big announcement. It was great. St. Joe's Park was rocking when you came out, and Damian Saint was reeling. So it was really cool. You came in and factored into the situation right away by dropping people with turtle stunners all over the place. It's like you had a stunner for everybody that wronged you.
And
I
that
think if
was the
Davison
plan.
Sarai was there, you'd have stunned her.
Oh, probably twice because of how she handled me.
So let's talk
Paul.
about you as general manager, as co-general manager. All right, I'll indulge. I'll stay in pocket. Tell us how you got asked. Tell us what prompted this, and tell the people what you've done and what you will be doing, because we want to hear about this. Now, are you going to be drunk with power? Are you going to become evil Tortuga, or are you going to stay on the straight and narrow?
So my goal is to not be, the evil Tortuga, as you would say. No, I that's not my goal. I don't want to be Damian Saint at all. I want to fix what he's broken. So if we go back to, oh, yes, timeout. What?
I just want to
What's
point
your
out.
show?
No. Lean back in. I don't need. You just lean right in. I just wanted to point out the proximity change. When we said you were the GM and you were going to start talking about things, the proximity change. He leaned in. Real deal. Leaned in. Just want that to be noted for the people. That's the reason. This man doesn't do anything for the random. It's all with purpose. Go ahead, Turtle.
He's putting all the pressure on me.
Go ahead, Turtle.
So, do you remember Harvest Havoc, where I was actually in the crowd having a good time with the LIM? And I watched PX get, manhandled out to ringside.
Get back to work.
And all of a sudden, you got Damian Saint like putting a fan in a match. Like, can he do that? I mean, could he really do that? And on top of that, you see Joey Roth, and what's his nuts, Damian Gray, handling PX like a couple of bullies. And you saw me. It was acknowledged that I was trying to get jumped that guardrail. So a few days after Harvest Havoc, I actually got a call from Shelly. She not only wants to change management around and whatnot, she actually saw the petition that Tony Gabagool was getting signed to get me back in. So she wanted to kill two birds with one stone, but she could not bring me in as a wrestler. That was all Damian Saint's thing, I guess. Whatever.
Non-disclosure agreement.
We can go with that. I mean, he's got Schultz as his attorney, so it works out, right?
Okay.
So Shelly came to me and asked if I wanted to be general manager. And I almost didn't take it. Because I wanted to go back to Rocket Pro and be a wrestler. And I wanted to kick some ass. Get all kinds of revenge on Undeniable.
I'm glad to clean that
So
up. Get out of here.
I told her that, give me time. Give me time to think about it. So Christmas Chaos rolls around. And I did message her that day. Now, I was not in the building. I was nowhere to be found. So I told her, okay, I'll be general manager, but we need to meet in the middle here. I can't be putting my hands on anybody unless physically provoked, but let me get receipts on all Undeniable members that wronged me at Fall Brawl.
Oh, I think he fixed that. It was started off treacherous.
Oh, let him
Go ahead.
So it was agreed, and would officially start in January. But there was going to be an announcement at Christmas Chaos. But you saw what happened. Joey Roth interfered in the announcement. They were going to show my picture or something on the screen. I don't know what she had planned. I wasn't there. She didn't tell me. But obviously, it was still questioned on who the GM was going to be. But then January rolled around, and that was it. I was announced. I came out, and I laid out people. And I banned people from ringside, too, within the first 5 minutes of being there. Does that kind of answer your question, Rian?
So already doing more than Damian Saint, right?
It's nothing. I said nothing just now, but that's fine.
It was the proximity. It's confusing.
I said,
You kind of went up on the screen like this, and I'm like, man, Rion never does shit like that. So that was important. I just wanted to point that out.
I didn't have anything.
All right. So let's talk about Cupid's Carnage coming up this Saturday, St. Joe's Park. Doors open at 4. Show starts at 5. We've got lots of featured matches.
Oh, we do.
Turtle,
Back to work.
you're the general manager.
I
I'm
am.
gonna let you lead the charge as we talk about this splendiferous card.
Okay. Well, I guess we'll start in order in the way
Well,
I have it.
Rion's got a picture up, so let's start right there.
Well, that
That's just for because I was waiting for.
Oh,
See, I just leave that up and he can go.
oh, okay. So PX is going to do that the
Yeah.
thing, and you're going to leave the
leave the
poster.
poster.
All right.
well, you know, funny you meant.
Earl, you're the general manager. Do what you got to do, man. I'm just going to sit here and listen.
Well, you mentioned PX, right? Well, PX is gonna actually be in the corner of Rockstar Johnny Nye and Flash Harris against the Idols, Damian Gray and Kevin Cade.
That I will.
You got any thoughts on that, PX?
PX, I thought you retired. I thought you were on
I'm
sabbatical
retired.
with Red.
I'm as far as the in-ring side of things, yeah, I'm no longer wrestling. But Flash and Johnny approached me with this idea of me standing in their corner and watching out for Joey and Roxy and making sure that things stayed an even keel. Because we all know that when Joey and Roxy are in the corner of any idol, there's always some shenanigans that they cause. And I couldn't say yes fast enough. Flash turned around and ran the idea by Nubby, and Nubby did approve that. So I will be in the corner watching out. And, you know, a little bit of a wrinkle in my game planning yesterday was brought up on JFW was the fact that I discounted to that point the fact that and Joey and the Idols in general may still not be that happy with me after I pinned Damian Gray back in December. So while I've been, you know, game planning and watching film of all the things that I can expect with Joey and Roxy and having those conversations with Johnny and Flash about all the different strategies that the Idols have, because those guys, I will say, they know the Idols playbook by the back of their hand, like the back of their hand. So now I have a new wrinkle in the next 4 days that I need to start to consider for myself, and that is, you know,
we have a timeout, PX. Hold on.
Oh yes, we do.
Go ahead, Steve.
They'll be right back.
I didn't know I had to take charge in that one.
No, I want you to hear
My
this
bad.
because this has to be said. PX, I want you to look at that picture. That picture
Yeah.
right here. That picture of the match. Roxy, Joey, Cade, Gray, Nye, Harris, and PX. Now, I know I'm a simple creature, and they accuse me of stirring pots and things of that nature. Am I the only one looking at that picture going, well, fuck, that is every Idol and PX? This would
You're
be a
not wrong.
really bad time for a family reunion, PX. You want to talk about being in enemy territory? Jesus Christ. Look at all them items. You can't even fit all them items on one page. What if it's a
No.
setup for Admiral Akbar's up? There's a trap. What do you, does anybody see this but me?
I mean, let's think about it this way, though.
I mean, I know you love your dad and I know you love your Uncle J Train, but look at all of them. Look at all of them. All of them there. That's a lot of idols. Hey,
But there are two
time
former
off.
idols.
Some tempers might have simmered. I don't know, man. That's a damn shame if bad intentions happen. I'm just saying. Maybe maybe Nye and Flash.
I'll be right back.
Maybe they're all good. Do you want me to get the fuck out of here?
No, I'm swinging out here. I'll be right back.
All right, we'll see you in a minute. I know I'm wrong. I mean, Flash saved the day. Johnny Nye saved me. So I'm not questioning their intentions. But when I look at that picture, I get chills up my spine going, what if? That's all I want to say. Turtle, I mean, am I wrong?
No, and this is one of the things I told PX after Flash came to me about this. It wasn't PX that came to me. This was Flash. And I said no at first, but he convinced me. But then when I talked to PX, I'm like, you got to understand, you are in there with all idols, even if two of them are former idols. You got to keep an eye on everything going out there. But I got to trust them now, and I have to trust Flash Harris. This is all on him and Johnny Nye. So.
Red. When you look at that picture, what do you see?
Idols versus former idols. I mean, I've been in the ring.
I'm paranoid, right? I'm paranoid.
Yeah, that's typically you.
Typically.
You know, I mean, I get it. But at the same time, Johnny has already expressed in combat his, you know, especially after what happened to him. I mean, again, we have to go back. Again, remember, the idols left him in the wind. He got hit by Joey. There's Rhea.
There's no timeout. I'm just testing out. This one's fresh.
That's a brand new one. He's got different hair in that picture.
You go ahead. Here you go.
Oh Lord.
All right, this one, you've done well.
This is all
You've done
this is
well.
all new. Look at the difference.
You've done well on this. But
Our little boy's growing up.
yeah, this one has to. So this
All right, we're gonna-
put that on the shelf. That one's fresh. You go ahead.
All right, we're good. All right, go ahead, Brett. I'm sorry.
Oh Lord. So, and then of course you would kind of be wary on Flash Harris. I know Flash. So again,
Yeah, we know.
I know Flash better than idols know Flash. So, it became personal. It wasn't business. But still, even with business, they left him out to dry. You know, when he had to, you know, when Steve Michaels came out, you know, so I think they won't pay that, you know. They want to show that they were the dominant duo of the idols and not Fonzie and the Bear, you know. So I trust
Eni Kamosi. Here comes the hot stepper.
so I'm gonna trust the former idols.
All right, I'm glad I'm just listen, they've screwed me so many times that I it's like a long-tailed cat in a room full of rocking chairs. I don't know what up and down is, to be honest with you. Pax, I'm just looking out for you, brother. That's all.
No, I appreciate it. And you know, with everything that has happened within the idols, I mean, I can't blame anybody for the skepticism, but you know, Johnny had my back.
mine
He had
too.
me and Reds back. Flash could have really done some damage, but again, Grandpa C-Red had a plan the whole time. And though I didn't know exactly what Flash was doing out there at the time. Once C-Red explained it after, everything started to make sense.
I don't think you should call him Grandpa anymore, Pax. I think you should call him Pawpaw.
You call him what you like. Call him whatever the hell you like to call him.
I like Pawpaw better.
Pawpaw Red.
Pawpaw Red. That's he's more of a Pawpaw than a Grandpa. That's just me. Go ahead, Pax. I'm sorry.
Oh, that was pretty much all I had to say on the matter.
That's all Pax has. This is like JFW all over again. Pax comes in, gets cut off, and then says, "Okay, I'm done anyway."
Next match.
Next match.
Well, we do have a special segment as the intercounty champion, the suburban German Joseph Von Jaeger, will be calling out Jesus DeSapio.
Yeah.
I guess he wants some answers from what happened in January, or it's still January, at Resolution. And he went to Damian Saint, and I find it kind of odd that Damian Saint threw this in my face like I'm supposed to care. I'm like, okay, you allowed Joseph Von Jaeger to call Jesus DeSapio out. Okay, good for you, Saint. Do your job. What more do you want from me?
Well, I mean, maybe it's it's going to prelude to some sort of match or some rematch, or I don't know exactly what, but I know both those guys are extremely talented.
That's fine.
Rion being the former intercounty champion, and having fought Von Jaeger twice, he's a tough dude. Yet the smooth criminal, Aztec Ammunition, Jesus DeSapio, is a bad man. Man with a black hat, always a bad man. So this is compelling, whatever's going to happen. I want to hear what has to be said, but I don't think it's going to stop the word.
Asking me a question, or you just making statements?
Well, I was making some statements. I don't want to put you in an uncomfortable position to talk about the title that is no longer around your waist, and I know that bothers you. I was just throwing some innuendo out there, hoping you would kind of step through the door, staying in that pocket.
Saying, okay, what pocket are we talking about, and what door are you trying to?
Nobody's really talked to you about your loss and about where you are in the Rocket Pro at this point. You don't lose a title and are just gone. That doesn't happen. There's got to be a rematch.
I was at a Rocket Pro for like 30 minutes.
I'm just saying that you had a successful title. You started a wave. There were some shenanigans. There were some lightsabers. There was a lot of stuff.
With all due respect, I know that the co-GM of Rocket Pro Wrestling does not want to hear about someone that's not on their roster. Probably should go ahead and talk with someone that is on their roster, and that would be the intercounty champion, Joseph Von Jaeger. He's going to do this segment. There's no reason to talk about someone like myself, because as it's been pointed out to me, I don't need anything anymore. Because I'm out of the picture. You don't need to have someone like myself,
Turtle.
talk.
Turtle.
Yes,
You're the co-GM.
I am.
You have power. You
I
have
do.
influence. What about Rion? Where does Rion go from here?
Don't want to go nowhere. I'm good.
Where is he in your scheme
I'm
plan?
good. Don't need it. Right. You ain't got the answer. Just let it.
I think you got to answer, Turtle.
I don't think you do.
Where's Rion in your plan? He's got to be there.
Oh, no.
If he wants to be there,
I can buy a
He
ticket.
can be
like
there.
everybody else that comes and
he
watches
can do whatever he wants.
on Saturday. February 2nd. That's coming this week.
That's right. This Saturday.
It's this Saturday. I could just go with the people and just watch the show.
I have a feeling at some point Captain Dave is going to have real deal McNuggets.
That would be splendid.
This goes back to what I was saying previously many a times with people, is that racism is funny as long as it's tiny. You don't associate me with nothing.
No, well, we had Marche Rocket I forget what M80 bites,
Mhm.
and I just thought Real Deal McNuggets made sense. It had nothing to do. It was delicacy, not racism. It wasn't even tiny
Wasn't-
racism. And I was just talking with Acid Jazz about tiny racism. I was.
Are we circling back to SCW?
No, we're not circling back. Okay. So maybe we'll have Real Deal pretzel bites. Something.
Or you can give that slot to someone else that's actually on the roster, as I will be a fan.
How about
at-
Real Deal loaded fries? Everybody loves loaded fries. The Real Deal walking taco.
You know, the walking taco sounds delicious, and I will be there personally to buy said walking taco.
Will
on
you autograph
Saturday-
walking
on
tacos?
Saturday?
C-Red is going to be
upcoming
there
Saturday.
to autograph
Fucking
walking tacos.
Focus and try to keep it in this pocket you've been bringing up for the last fucking hour.
I'm keeping it in the pocket.
Like,
Keep
I
keep
get
it
it.
in the pocket, Steve.
just I'm good.
Look,
Talk about the show.
Rion is good, and he is good with me. So keep that in mind. If you want to talk, Rion, we'll talk.
I'm gonna buy a ticket. You go
Buy a
ahead.
ticket if you want.
I want to hear the opinion of Rachel on this whole thing.
But that's a good idea, but all right.
Dare I ask why you want my opinion?
Well, I mean, we're talking about walking tacos and we're talking about Rion's fate at Rocket Pro.
There's no fate, I'm gone.
And
There's no fate.
we're talking about these things. Where do you weigh in on it? Is Rion
I-
really out? Do you think they're going to have him back? Would you eat a walking taco that was called the Real Deal?
I think Rion is going to do whatever Rion wants to do, and I think walking tacos are disgusting. So there you are.
So you'd prefer Real Deal McNuggets?
No.
Mr. GM, Mr. Co-GM.
Yes,
There's other matches that you could talk about.
we do. And I don't know how much time you have.
Yeah,
here.
that's why I was like, by all means, please talk about literally anything on the show other than Rion Skills, who's not going to be there.
So as co-GM, I must, throw my weight around in here, and let's move on.
All right, throw that weight.
And wait a minute, technically,
All that pizza.
Fucker,
there's Freaknet Studios involved in here, so I'm technically your boss right now. So let's move on.
I don't run shit. I just showed up to.
No, I'm talking to Steve.
Oh, Steve. Yeah,
Yeah.
he's your boss. He's now the Rock.
As long as everyone's clear that I don't have a boss.
No, no one would ever presume to be your boss.
No,
Okay.
Yes, you do. Yes, you do, Cactus. Yes, you do.
Oh, no.
Yes, you do.
No, we're not going
Yes,
here.
you do.
No,
we
no,
are.
no,
we
no.
are. Yes,
No,
you do
no,
have a boss.
You do
Yes,
not.
you do.
Nobody
Watch me
put
go
Cactus
there.
in the corner.
Watch
No
me-
one put
watch me
Cactus
go
in the
there.
corner. No
Watch
one
me
put
go there.
Cactus in the corner.
Watch me go there.
No.
Hey.
Oh, God.
Hey, Cactus, you do have a boss. You ready for it? Leica.
Are you ready for it?
It just says Leica.
Huh?
Like a boss. I'm on it right.
Oh yeah, like a boss. I heard slacka. I'm like, who's slacking? Yes, I have a boss,
Like a
but
boss.
he is not my boss.
Actually, you do.
It's you, but that's
No. I'm sure she's somewhere in your house calling the
Mhm.
shots.
oh my child, or do
Oh,
you mean
yeah.
my dog Rosie?
Your
Well,
child.
Yeah, that is true. But when it comes to the podcast, I do not have a boss.
I answer to you.
Now let's please get back on track.
Yeah.
Hey, so let's get back on track. 30 minutes ago, Damian Sate made a ridiculous statement regarding, yes, Mr. Skills, Koa versus Steve Michaels.
Oh, 30 minutes ago, he made a statement.
Yeah,
Okay,
saying it is now 2 out of 3 falls. Koa wasn't paying attention, and as he is more or less going to, Michaels is going to decimate Koa and his beautiful side attraction. you care to comment on this?
Hang on 1 second, Red. We're gonna actually play it.
Yeah, play it for me. I gotta hear this shit.
Police. Apparently, I was unaware. We have a problem. We have a problem because last month at resolution, Koa, you won a fatal 4-way for the #1 contendership. Wait, Steve couldn't make it. He had a look he had to take care of. I think I remember coming out right before your match started. You pulled the bell in your lump and told you and everybody else. It was a triple threat. Not a single four-way. It was a three.
Now, in a state of shock.
That whoever won out of that triple threat will go on next month, aka Cupid's Karma, to face Steve Michael in that #1 contender. Now, Koa, it could have been Shaq, it could have been Eric, just like it could have been you. And you won. Well, if you please were not too busy trying to get ready for the fans, you would have paid attention. We have a problem. You have a problem. You have a problem because you're facing Steve Michaels this Saturday in a 2-out-of-3 falls match. I'm not the one in the ring. You have the problem.
Well, that was just a waste of time.
I mean, we kind of already knew that, so I'm not exactly sure why he had to feel like he had to. I mean, the flyer says it.
Clearly,
Your partner is slipping.
he's lost his marbles a long time ago, and this is what I'm talking about. He's throwing his weight around, and again, he's being biased. A general manager is not supposed to be biased. And look at him. He's got his own group. He's doing everything for his friends. And I'm the one that made this 2-out-of-3 falls. And he actually accused me of doing it for my friend when really I didn't know Koa was winning. I made it the stipulation before the match started. So he's gone wacko. Or he's been wacko. I don't know. That guy's a fucking idiot.
The rules are very murky. Red, thank you for bringing that to our attention. Red is ever present in the world of social media. He knows everything. Red, how do you react to Damian Saint and his very unusual timing of a statement that had been made a month ago?
He's a bona fide fucking lunatic.
That's fair.
Again, I understand that I haven't always played nice. I get that, I get that. But when you become a figurehead, you have to be equal to everyone across the board. And he hasn't done that. His only claim to fame is, I've packed a house. I've packed the house. Did you pack the house or was it the fucking car? Was it the guys busting their ass in the ring? So now, last month he couldn't say that. He couldn't say that. I think everybody came out last month because they wanted to see who damn co-GM was gonna be. And to know that shit was gonna start off the show. So, in a sense, Turtle packed the house. Now, you're setting the undeniable up like you have nothing left now. You can't control everything anymore. So now you're trying to manipulate your pieces to keep thriving And just like the idols, the undeniable will fall. I don't give, I have respect for Michael. I really do. The bigger they are, the harder they fall. And if anybody can make him fall, it's Cole.
100%.
I'm never the only thing I think Koa goes in is the height disadvantage. That's it. That's it. I think, but his speed and his arsenal, and oh my God, don't bring them damn sticks that he be using and shit. Oh my God. You'll fuck around and break one of them damn kneecaps and they even be a mighty bitch. So 2 out of 3. I mean, plus we see who is behind Steve. So I can only see shenanigans. I really do. But I also see that we have a GM now also that is about fair play. And I wouldn't be shocked to see him come out, reverse the decision or two, if bullshit was to be called. So.
He would basically do what Travis T did not do Saturday night in Shabazz.
Yep.
All right. Well, that's going to be a hell of a matchup. Koa Laksamana, Steve Michaels, the Undeniable versus the Hawaiian Hitman. Watch out for Kayleese. She's a wild card in that match. She is dangerous. So that should be spectacular. Turtle, where do we go from here?
Well, I guess since we're on the subject of Dumbass Saint, a match that he put together for punishment reasons, maybe, the Ryan Matthews will be taking on Sean Danger.
That was close.
Supposedly, this is punishment for Danger handing out free beer. I
call bullshit.
Right. I mean,
No, I
tried
call
to
bullshit
adjust
because
the-
we didn't get
You didn't get the beer.
We didn't
Yeah.
get the beer, and we
Right.
were waving our hands like
I got no beer.
we
That's
wanted
cool,
beer.
Danger, after the show. When you bring beer out, you better bring something to commentary.
Right, we get the first shot.
That's just, and then I tried to tell the LIM to bring some beer over, and guess who didn't get any beer? Us.
In our
Thanks,
defense, we
LIM.
were too drunk. I know we were too drunk in our defense.
And the bad part about that is they acknowledged me. And they were like, yeah, Grandpa here. Well, goddamn it, it still hasn't made its way.
Yeah, I'm still. We better get beers. The LIM better hand deliver some beers on Saturday. That's the way that's got to be. You got to right or wrong, Pax. You got to right or wrong.
We got you guys.
Poor Sean Danger. Jesus Christ.
Yeah.
Why do you guys torture him so much? He's a good kid, good heart, good wrestler. Putting him in a match against one of the Undeniable, where there's one Undeniable, there's 60 of them. It's not fair.
And I still don't agree that it should be punishment, because really he was giving back to the fans. The fans paid their hard-earned money to be there. They deserved a little bit. A little bit of free booze. Can't go wrong with that. And Rocket Pro made their money prior to that, so it's all good. So Saints just nuts.
So let me ask you this, GM.
Yes.
Who made the other match? Because I'm curious. Because we have the Kings of the Six versus a team that I never thought about until the Flyer. And a team that could possibly even take the final level to their point. And that's Maximus Orion and Shaq Jordan. Who made
You know,
this match?
I don't know about that statement.
Yeah,
Well,
okay.
don't want to go down that road right now. I mean, they're a great
Well-
tag team. It'll be fun to watch them whip up on the 6th. But
But I want to see if they can maximize, no pun intended, their abilities.
It could
Never-
we're
happen.
gonna say they're gonna take
Like-
the final level to the final level. That's heresy.
No, it's not.
That is-
Understand?
That is heresy.
Anything can happen.
You get burned at the stake when you say shit like that back in the 1700s.
Do I look like I'm worried about it?
I know you're not worried. I'm just saying. Don't let Shay and Logan hear you say that stuff.
For what? You are acting like there has never been upsets in professional wrestling, Steve.
Well, there are upsets, and then there's illogical.
Now you're cutting them.
Absolutely not. You this is the first time
You
they're
are.
together. You don't know how they're going to be together. What if Maximus
You
turns on
are.
Shaq or Shaq turns on Maximus?
That's not gonna happen.
I know, but
No.
theoretically it won't happen. But there's some crazy shit in Rocket Pro.
And who's to say Chris Logan doesn't have a leg cramp in the middle of the match? Who's to say Marche doesn't get a giant toothache? Again, it's all possibilities.
Yeah, but Marche's dental game is on point.
Well, to answer your question, Red, it was Damian Saint that put this match together. And again, it was to punish Shaq Jordan and Maximus Orion, which makes me
It's
think
more
that
like he's
Saint's
punishing the
even
Kings
more
of the
not.
Six.
And
Right.
I agree with that. I do agree with that because the Kings of the Six are not on the same page right now.
They ain't been on the same goddamn page since Michael Myers.
Right. And they couldn't even beat Gunnar Brave 2-on-1.
Well, shit, they couldn't beat Michael Myers.
You got Wolverine and a paranoid schizophrenic trying to beat Generational Treasure and the I'm not gonna say it. We don't say that anymore. I got admonished in the Rocket Pro video game stream for that shit. I started something. I usually start things that are all right. That one was not a good one. I got called to the carpet on that one. There's no arm of justice. He's Maximus Orion. He's charmed.
Fair enough.
I'm just saying, I will bet all the house money on Maximus and Shaq on this one. If for nothing else, the Kings of the Six, even after they got their ass last month, they still weren't on the same page.
Nope.
Like how you and your buddy, your bro, you're together, and you get your ass whooped. You should at least lick your wounds together. And we'll fight again. And they went their separate goddamn ways, and it was like, what?
Not only that, they were separate in going out to the ring.
Right, but
So-
then Devin comes back out later, and you don't see his partner. Like,
Nope.
isn't this odd? Isn't this strange? Oh my, how Canada has fallen. Just saying. Bret Hart would be disappointed.
He's disappointed all the time though, because Shawn Michaels is better. But
Well,
That's
we know
not-
that. We understand. That's why you're my general manager.
also what was I gonna go with? You had me and then I lost myself.
It's fine. Worry about it.
Don't rip on me behind my back. Rip to my front.
No, he lost his spot.
I lost my train of thought.
There's other matches. This final level.
Oh yeah,
There's a match that's been-
also Damian Saint told them to don't mess this up. So he's putting a lot of pressure on them to beat Shaq Jordan and Maximus Orion. So again, Damian Saint being stupid. But a match I did put together, and I am proud of this match. Heroes of our time, Mason Conrad and Joey Marks, will making their Rocket Pro debut, taking on the final level for the tag team titles.
Why?
Well, I'm trying to build this tag team division and bringing different tag teams from all over the areas
Okay.
is a way to go. And I figured Heroes of Our Time seems like a team that could keep up with Final Level. Could.
Okay. All right.
Time out on the
Yes.
field. Time out on.
Yeah,
Yes,
it looks like
Steve.
there's a Heroes of Our Timeout going on.
Oh, I said you
Mr. GM, I hate to be a
fucking
jerk,
PX.
but
Yes.
I mean, Heroes of Our Time, it's going to be great. Hell of a match. I can't wait to see them perform. I've been looking forward to seeing them for a while now. Kind of wondering why we're not going to see Youth Gone Wild.
I had a feeling that questions get brought up.
I
and I'll
mean, I
answer
would
them.
think Marche would like to see Youth Gone Wild.
And if Marche,
Tommy Heisman threw a fucking microphone on his face.
he did.
That might have been the dental problem you're talking about. That's not cool.
So if Marche were to come to me and say, bring in Youth Gone Wild, he wants the match. Okay.
Marche doesn't have to
I
come
will.
at you. You have to have better judgment than that. Give
Well,
the fans what they want.
I could, but I also don't feel that jumping a barricade and beating up the roster is going to get my attention. All you're going to do is
Maybe not
make me ignore
other
it.
people, other places totally condone jumping a guardrail, but that's a story for another time. That's a story for another time.
We already
What
talked about
what bothers me is I've known Youth Gone Wild a long time.
Brother.
I knew them when they were actually nice guys. Believe it or not, they were actually nice at one point.
What was that?
Well, half of them. Half of
That
them.
would be when
That was 11. Well, it must have been 11 years before me.
that would be when PCW was.
The PCW days when they first started.
Oh, I only got 3 shows with them, so
Yeah.
I didn't see that.
I had a couple years.
You came in when they were actually forced to stop teaming up together. So
Even then,
And
Tom
I-
Heisman stole my microphone.
well, Tom Heisman is Tom Heisman. And that's all that.
Tom
I can
Heisman
say.
is not on this show or this match.
Well, he asked the question, so I have to answer it. Basically, if you jump a barricade, you're not going to get a match. You're not going to be on a show. It's not going to make me give you a title shot.
Yeah, it does happen some places though.
Some places, but not with me. Especially when, if I've known you forever, you're disrespecting me. All you got to do is give me a call. You don't interfere with my show. Just call me, and I'll make things happen.
I'm not going to jump the guardrail, sir. I'm not going to disrespect you.
Well, I don't think you're jumping any kind of guardrail, regardless.
He just said I'm not capable. He's right.
So that's why Youth Gone Wild is not on this show or future shows for now. Me and Damian Saint actually have to sit down and talk and come to an agreement. And he actually did say on the podcast of Lovely Intoxicated Men that he agreed, which kind of felt like hell froze over at that point. But we're gonna have to talk about, because I would like to bring them in, but they have to come to terms with what we want.
What about the Heroes of Our Time made you want to bring them in to face the final level? What about that tag team made you decide to reach out to them to give them a debut match at Rocket Pro? Not only a debut at Rocket Pro, but their first match at Rocket Pro is for the titles. That's almost unprecedented.
Right. I mean, okay, so with the tag teams we have in Rocket Pro now, they're all occupied with something else. The Idols are doing idol things with former idols. The Coyotes, I cannot deal with them right now. And then we don't have that many tag teams, so I reached out to just a random team, and I remember listening to their interview on Windy City Slam not too long ago. I'm like, they seem like a tag team that I would want to bring in if I was a general manager of a company. Well, hey, how about that? I am co-general manager of Rocket Pro Wrestling, so let's bring them in and give them a title shot.
But what about them did you like? I mean, you could have called anybody. You could have called Zero Gravity. You could have called the Dope Kings. You could have called almost anybody. There's a lot of tag teams that we've been down the road with. You could have called the haters.
I
No
wanted
Ghost.
no Ghost.
Could have called the Soul Touches.
I wanted a team that I am not affiliated with. I wanted just some random team, and
What about Uncle Drip's team?
no, not happening. I just wanted just out of nowhere, just pick the team, and I
You like
remember
them.
listening.
You like them. You think they're worthy
Yeah,
to find a
they're-
level.
Yeah, they're definitely worthy, and I think they'll give them a run for their money. They're the size is a little different, but as we've seen before, it doesn't matter. Yes, Rian?
I'm gonna help you out because he clearly isn't going to. But for those of you that don't know these two gentlemen, they are very, very talented in what they do.
They are.
Go and check them out in Galley. You can go and check them out literally anywhere that you could just. He's saying random. They are far from random.
Well,
But-
I'm saying random, like pulling a name out of a hat and then looking them up.
and I'm fine
know.
with that, but please do not sell these two gentlemen short. They
They're
are
they are a. See, I've actually said
they
this in
are
a post.
amazing. Separately,
They're amazing. They are.
Collectively, they're one of the best, one of the most underrated tag teams. Even with the success that they have over at Gal, they're one of the most underrated tag teams that are in the local scene as well as outside of it. Like they don't sleep on these guys.
That's what I was looking
No.
for.
Yeah, you were, but you didn't help them.
Help.
I-
Goddamn GM.
You know what? Right. Let me shut the fuck up. I need to go. I need to get off of this show. I need to
Pocket.
fuck that pocket.
Pocket.
You know what?
You can't leave because she just ordered you a sandwich.
Who won?
She just ordered you a sandwich, and she's gonna be sad. The
This
missus
is-
ordered you a damn sandwich.
Picking heroes of our time is out of my norm, if you will. Because Travis brought up the fact that I could have brought in the Bro Bros. Yeah, I could have, but they are part of my affiliation. I wanted a team that isn't affiliated with me. And they are talented. I watched some tape, and that's why I picked them. And I think they can possibly take those titles off Final Level.
Red, what do you say about that?
I know these gentlemen from their earlier beginnings. I even have victories over both of them, but that's neither here nor there. But I have seen them since they have been at Galley, and they have been making quite the noise. Do I think they will beat the Final Level? Oh, yeah. Will it be a good spirited contest? Yes. But again, end of the night, you know, Timmy Too Sweet will still say, and still, you're Rocket Pro Tag Team Champions, the Final Level. And we just pray to God that there's no shenanigans afterwards. Can we get one show with no shenanigans? That's all I'm saying.
Probably not. I think it's
Can't make any promises. I could try.
I do love the fact that this tag team is coming to Rocket Pro. I think having them on the roster is really good for business. I would love to see them fight the Coyotes down the road, amongst others. So I think having them here debuting is
They
a rock
fight
solid
themselves.
decision. And that's all I had to say about that.
And so then there's one more match, but before I get into that, I do have to say that Saturday, if everything goes right, I will have a special Valentine for a very special individual that night.
You're gonna have a special Valentine?
For a special individual
You're
at
gonna
Rocket Pro at Cupid's Carnage.
You're looking for love?
When it happens, you'll understand.
I don't
Turtles
know if I
need
want it
love.
to happen. I got a very bad feeling about this.
Turtles need love too.
You'll understand once you hear it.
What
It's
about
in the
Captain
spirit.
Dave's Cosmic Candy?
What match is left?
You got to talk about the cosmic candy from Captain Dave.
Get the
I love 'em
cosmic
right now.
candy. So in the main event, it will be
Main
for
event.
the Rocket Pro Championship. It will be challenger Public Enemy #1 Eric Dillinger coming back to Rocket Pro to challenge the champion, the Dream Breaker Aaron Stone. Wow.
I'm
What
going
a
to
main
start the
event.
chant right now.
New champ. New champ.
Really?
I love Aaron Stone, but Dillinger's on a whole other level. Last time we saw him in Rocket Pro, I saw pieces of his flesh hanging on that barbed wire. If there's anybody that can match Aaron Stone's lack of personal safety, it's Dillinger. You have two guys here that will stop at nothing to win. This might end in a fatality.
You could. But just keep in mind, you might be partly right. You could hear new champ, but will it be Eric Dillinger? Don't forget, Gunner Brave has a briefcase.
He just give us a
He can.
he just give us a sneak preview.
Nope.
He could
Fighting on that.
cash
Yeah,
in
right.
at any time.
We're biting on a sandwich in a minute.
Focus.
But you
Turtle.
never know.
I just
You
want
could
to
hear
say
it twice.
I just want to say right now that you are doing a swell job as co-GM because Cupid's Carnage is shaping up to be an incredibly memorable show for all those that come out this Saturday to St. Joe's Park. Well done,
I'm not-
Nubby.
I don't want to toot my own horn.
Toot.
But I don't really want to because I want to work with Damian Saint. I really want to be on the same page here. So I don't want to give myself all the credit, even though I could, but then I'd be like Damian Saint and take all the glory.
Right, huh?
I don't want that. I want to help him take Rocket Pro to the next step, to the next level.
Doing it
Keep
bosom
on-
buddy style, huh?
He's going to have to learn to play nice and be a team player.
Rachel, what do you think about the job that Turtle has done so far?
Having absolutely no skin in the game and having not been at Rocket Pro in months, I think Turtle is doing a fantastic job. I think Damian Saint is scared, and I think Rocket Pro is going to change a lot in the coming year thanks to Turtle.
I
God
appreciate
God
that very
bless.
much.
Mm-hmm.
Rachel and Cactus Rack. That is amazing. That's fantastic insight. I love it.
Is it?
It is.
Or is it obvious?
It might be obvious, but it's beautiful. It's splendid.
Thank you.
Red, what say you?
Hey, Turtles, I think my reaction was already, I'm sure he's watched the video. My turtle was there, so he got screwed, had a title, and the Undeniables took him out, for no reason. And now he's back. Turtle will take 2024 to new heights. I think everybody can breathe because of the tyranny of Saint. Everybody can now breathe and understand that for every time that Saint tries to pull some deep down shenanigans, Turtle can come out and say, no, it's not going to happen. And that makes a good place to work. We, me and you, Steve, we don't have to look over our shoulders, and, if you're not doing your thing, get the fuck out of here, Now I can say,
look over my shoulder, Red, because whenever the idols are there, you
well, that's you. I done beat their ass, been there, done
Yeah,
that.
you have. That's true. Does that
You
make
know,
Turtle the arm of justice?
that would make him the arm of fairness.
The arm of fairness.
And that's what we need. You know, you don't come to work to feel like, oh, I know I'm gonna get screwed over today. You know, you come to work to do your job. You know, and that's what we all do when we step through the doors of Rocket Pro. You know, not you know, at one point he told you, you know, you had to sweep up and clean the popcorn and because he was the boss and you know he could tell you what to do and you know you couldn't say bad things about him. Well, guess what? I fucking can. It's my show. So therefore, Damian Saint, fuck you. If you don't like it, talk to my boss, Turtle.
Well, there you go. PX, any final thoughts?
I mean, Turtle, I know, you know, you have a lot of work that you need to do in Rocket Pro. I mean, we talked about it on the Lovely Intoxicated podcast that there are a lot of clear indications that the general manager, Damian Saint, had, before you had come into power, he just kind of ran by his own rules and had him and the Undeniable running roughshod. There was a lot of weird things going on at Rocket Pro that aren't really normal. And my hope for you is, I know, but my hope for you is that you balance the scales a little bit.
That is my goal. My goal is to, you know, have some balance around there because, you know, Mr. Miyagi always said, need balance, Daniel-san.
So it's all about midichlorians. Okay. This Saturday night or afternoon, St. Joe's Park, Joliet, Illinois, Rocket Pro Wrestling presents Cupid's Carnage. It's going to be a great show. Cupid's Carnage always is great. What you know 100% is somebody's going to be wandering around in a diaper. Is it you?
Nope, been there.
I know, that's what I'm saying. Maybe you're taking the
Yep,
mantle
I
back.
get it funny. Haha, I've been there.
So Cupid, it's fun. Come on out. It's a kid-friendly show. Beer for sale at reasonable prices. Great food. Captain Dave's Galley, delicious products, including cosmic candy this time, whatever that is. I can't wait to see it. And if you come out, if you're one of the first 15 fans that come to St. Joe's Park, the LIM is going to buy you beer.
Wait, is that true, Tubby? Oh wait, we're
I mean, you do work for Rocket Pro, so
oh, yeah, that is true.
you could do that.
All right.
I mean, you could do that when you don't.
Except when you don't. Next week on this show, we will feature one of the bright young superstars upcoming in the area. We will feature Adonis Allen. We will talk directly about Frontline Pro, which is happening next Saturday in Marshfield, Wisconsin. We will talk a lot about the Tag Team Turmoil tournament. I saw a post from Cactus's good pal, Hot Rod Daddy Andy. He is ready. Doesn't care who his partner is. So I look forward to talking about that show next week. Adonis Allen is going to be a great guest. He's very excited to be on this show. We are equally excited to have him. February is going to be a busy month. We've got a lot of great guests. We'll talk a little bit of Chicago style down the road. We're going to talk a lot of knockouts as we get closer and closer to the 2024 debut. It's going to be a great year on the Power Hour, courtesy of FreakNet Studios. So we're very excited. We want to thank the amazing Turtle tonight for coming on and, helping us do our thing. We appreciate you being a great guest, good general manager, good wrestler. Thank you for your time. Want to thank Rachel, for coming back. It's good to have you. We hope that you're on every week from here on out because we love it when you're here.
I can't make any promises, but I'm doing my best.
You are doing wonderfully. Want to thank PX for always coming up with very interesting photographs. The long arm of fairness. There it is right there. He makes the stuff on the fly. He's a wizard. Want to thank the real deal, Rion Skills. Fuck around and find out. You damn right. Want to thank the urban sensation known as C Red, Brother Red, fraternity Brother Red as it is now. You got any fraternity updates for us? You got anything you want to say about that before we fly?
Oh, nothing again that people haven't seen. Welcome, my unbreakable line to Chi Sigma Delta Fraternity Incorporated. They did a wonderful job at Probate in Atlanta. They crossed the green, black, and gold sands. So I get to take a break until next rush season and do it all over again. So wonderful job to be the National Dean of Pledges. So pretty cool.
Big things popping in 24 for Uncle Red, that's for sure. Thanks for watching the Power Hour. Thanks for watching every week, those of you that do. We really appreciate it. And we will see you next Tuesday night. Catch some great wrestling this weekend. And maybe we'll talk a lot about some fun stuff next week too. We will see you. Good night. God bless. And like Casey always said, keep your feet on the ground, keep reaching for the stars.